What this three-time NBA All-Star had to say has Spurs fans fired up, and for good reason. Gilbert Arenas suggests the Spurs are in trade now mode with one of their top guards. We'll break down what Arenas had to say and if he suggests the right move for the San Antonio Spurs. What's good, Spurs Digest family? I'm Brian Colbert here breaking down a quote from one of my favorite basketball players. I want to start by saying that one of my GOATs. I enjoyed watching him so much during his run. And right now, he is on a media run talking about all things. And he just had the Spurs in his mouth. Before we go any further, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that doorbell to be notified every time we post. We are growing at a rapid rate, and that's all because of the best NBA fans in the world, our Spurs Digest family. Let's get right into what my guy, Gilbert Arenas, Agent Zero, had to say about the Spurs. Gilbert Arenas said just watching him, he's talking about Dylan Harper, just watching him play, the mannerisms, the style, the speed, the poise, the passing ability, you got him. Now, Castle's about 6'5", 2, so you got your backcourt sitting around 6'5", 6'6". Both are athletic. Me right now, as a general manager, and I'm watching them play and watching how he is moving, I don't know what I want to do with Fox. Because having them as a 1, 2, 3 doesn't even make sense to me anymore. Him coming off the bench, that doesn't make sense to me either. If I want this to be a championship team, I don't need no waiting period. I need them to get all of the minutes and learn how to be efficient now. Now, that I understand. I do understand in certain regards where Gilbert Arenas is coming from. However, I do have to disagree. But before I disagree, let me agree first so I do not sound like a hater or like somebody that has an issue. Because I do agree that when you look at Stephon Castle and when you look at Dylan Harper, you're looking at the future guards of the San Antonio Spurs for an extremely long period of time. They fit the bill. They have the skill set. Stephon Castle's the reigning rookie of the year. Dylan Harper looks the part. He's the number 2 pick. You don't take a guy with the number 2 pick without lofty expectations for him in the future. You take Dylan Harper and decide to not go trade for Giannis or whatever star that you could have got for the number 2 pick. You stick with the number 2 pick, draft Dylan Harper because you believe in the future of him and your franchise. You believe that he is a piece next to Wemby, much like Stephon Castle. So I do agree with that. You look at those two and you say, we got something special here. I agree. I also agree that if you're looking at the guards on this team and wondering who may be the odd man out when you're talking about Harper, when you're talking about Castle, when you're talking about Fox, that Fox is the odd man out. Only because, in my opinion, not age, not anything other than the fact that he has an expiring contract and that you got to pay DeAaron Fox. So again, that alone makes him the odd man out to me. Not to mention, again, all those other factors, which do play a factor. However, I think DeAaron Fox is one of the best of them. So I think if it wasn't a contract year, this would be a whole nother conversation. So I do understand that as well. I understand Fox being the odd man out. Makes sense. I also can agree that off the rip, the Fox Castle Harper 1, 2, 3 combo might not be what you want to start with out the gate. Harper might not have that size yet to really play the 3. Castle really might not have the size to play that 3. I understand that as well. Do I think that that combination we'll see a lot of and can find success in? Oh, 100%. I do. I do think you can find success with those 3 on the court. Because in this NBA, it's positionless basketball, right? That's what we call it now. It's evolved. And we know the Spurs. The Spurs love playing 3 guards. We saw it all the time. We've seen it for years with the Spurs. They have no issue having 3 guards on that court. So I do think it is something we will see. However, I agree that that's not necessarily your strongest lineup right now as we stand right now. But here is, even though I agree with all those things, here is where I disagree. Because I believe Gilbert Arenas has a mindset that no matter what, Dylan Harper is starting. Which that could be the case. That could be the case. Again, I was the first person to say I think him, Fox, and Castle would actually be a matchup nightmare for teams, and I'd love to see that. However, we got to remember the Spurs aren't a normal NBA team. The Spurs way is a thing for a reason. They do things differently. The Spurs have no issue easing in a young fella. We've seen it time and time again. They have had some of the best products of the G League from the Spurs because they took time with players that they knew were talented. No, Dylan Harper is not going to be in the G League. We're saying right now, he'll never touch the G League. I'll say that. However, do I think the Spurs are going to feel a need to rush him? Do I feel like the Spurs are going to feel the need to start him right away? No. We didn't see Stephon Castle start until November, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that was due to an injury. And we saw Stephon Castle's role fluctuate, even though he showed from the jump. He was a starter. He was going to be a part of this future. The Spurs, they had no reason to rush. The Spurs knew they could take their time with him. And I truly believe with this roster, you could definitely take your time with Dylan Harper. Now, do I think there's a world where Fox doesn't get traded? I think that's another conversation for another day. But what Gilbert Arenas is saying is that the Spurs need to do this right now. And to me, it's just too early. We haven't even really got to see what DeAaron Fox as a Spur could be. This is rich folks' problems for sure, because there was a world this time last year where we would have done anything for DeAaron Fox to have him on our roster. Now he's being spoken about as if he's a movable piece, a piece that we don't necessarily need anymore. To me, I don't know if we're there just yet. DeAaron Foxes don't just come out of nowhere. You don't just get them, especially for what you give up. A first, Zach Collins. I mean, it wasn't a lot that they had to give up for Fox to begin with. Now, the one thing that does make me a little okay now, his contract's expiring. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to pay him? Can the Spurs pay him? I think they can. But the question is, will they need to with Dylan Harper being the man, with Stephon Castle being the man? But I at least want to see it. I got to see it. I want to see what DeAaron Fox can do leading this team. Because remember, even if all three of them got to be on the court, there's going to be times it looks like Wemby's going to be playing a lot of 4. So I don't care who's at 1 through 3. Spurs fans, listen, I know it's easy to get excited about the things to come for the Spurs. We're still a long ways away. Fox is still the man on this team. We have not even got to see close to what we could get from DeAaron Fox. Think about how bad we wanted him at one point in time. He would have been a dream guard for us, and I still think he is. This team does not get to the playoffs in the hopes that we get to that next level without DeAaron Fox. That's just honest. I do understand that possibly trading him before the deadline allows you to get value in case he decides to leave in free agency, but I don't even see DeAaron Fox to be that type of guy. DeAaron Fox wants to be somewhere and be home. He seems loyal. He gave the Kings a lot of time. I can't imagine that he's going to be too ready to leave the Spurs, especially if things go right. And I do truly think you can make it work with all 3 guys. And honestly, be the next generation of basketball in San Antonio. Change the game. Because again, you're going to be seeing some big lineups out there. And honestly, I think when you have a guy like Wemby playing with another very tall 7-footer, even though they can shoot, I think it behooves you to have guard play and have that type of athleticism and guys that can do whatever you need them to do with or without the ball. And that's what you have right now. But DeAaron Fox, he's the motor that's getting it going. Wemby is going to hit that next level because of DeAaron Fox. DeAaron Fox has that's not only that star power, but he has the knowledge of what it takes to win on the next level. And I think this is the best supporting cast he's had. I think these are the best players he's gotten to play with in his career. And he hasn't even reached his prime yet. And he's a Spur. He's in San Antonio about to reach his prime. Because I think the best is yet to come for DeAaron Fox. And I think the best happens this year. And I don't think anybody will be talking about moving him. I think we'll all be trying to figure out how to keep Fox on this roster. Because, again, yes, you have Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper. But let's not act like De'Aaron Fox ain't De'Aaron Fox. People talking about De'Aaron Fox like he ain't the man for real. Like he ain't one of the best point guards, one of the best two-way guards in the league. That is De'Aaron Fox. That's why we wanted him so bad and we got him for a steal. So I'm not even want to think about trading him or him moving anywhere. I want to see what he can do in that Spurs uniform because I'm telling you, I think he is a Spur. I know we're going to see that three-guard play, and I know we're going to find success with that three-guard play because that's what the Spurs do. They make it work. We've made it work with far less. Now we have an embarrassment of riches to where we can't even talk about doing this, talk about trading a guy like De'Aaron Fox. It's insane to me that could even be a conversation. I do get it, like I said. I agree on a lot of points. But right now I want to see what De'Aaron Fox can do in that Spurs jersey and what this team as a whole can do healthy because we have yet to see that yet. Not to mention all the people we were able to keep. This roster looks incredible. The depth looks incredible to me. I know an extra star make you feel like, but De'Aaron Fox is a star. Let's see what he can do. And let's allow our young guys to develop. Because it's going to still take time. Castle still has development to do. Dylan Harper having time is not a bad thing. Let the young boy cook. It didn't stop Stephon Castle's development. It didn't stop him from getting Rookie of the Year. So let's be patient with Dylan. And let's enjoy De'Aaron Fox while we have him because it is special to have a player of this caliber in San Antonio. And I know y'all feel it. But if you don't, let us know in the comments, Spurs Digest family. Do you think it's time to jump ship on Fox? Do we just get what we can from him and move on and let these young guys play? I do understand if that's how you feel. But me right now, I want to see De'Aaron Fox. I want to see him ball. I want to see what he can do. Let us know in the comments how you're feeling right now. Spurs Digest family, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that doorbell to be notified every single time we post. For Spurs Digest, I am Brian Colbert. See y'all next time.